Hi everyone, this is Aki with another video on IRS Free File, the tax software that's offered by the Free File program. So we're going to go to another tax software that's available on the IRS Free File option, and we're going to use the TaxAct one. So this is the criteria, as I mentioned previously. Like you wanna browse all offers and you wanna double check to make sure you qualify. So for the TaxAct, it says the AGI has to be 65,000 or less. The age, you see this one has actually age criteria. You have to be 56 or younger. Federal is available for any state of residence, and state, it says free state if you qualify for federal, which, for federal, all states are available. So it seems like all states are covered. And earned income tax credit is included if age and AGI criteria are met. So you have to be, earning below 65,000 and below 56 to use this, and military pay is included. So again, you want to make sure that you are using the link that's available through the IRS website, not if you Google TaxAct. So let's use this link. And now let's compare it to one that's available if you Google TaxAct.com. So you see the homepage right away. The first screen is much different, and it seems like they do offer a free version as well. So let's just compare this information. So you see, this is the IRS free file link, which is taxact.com/FFA/free-file-now. So it's different than if you go to taxact.com. The homepage is different. So let's just make sure that this will, the qualification hasn't changed. So it does say, you have to be below 56. You can't make more than 65,000. So this is obvious. So I like it. It's clean. It's right there at the very top. I can start my return right there. I can also be active military. Oh, look at this. For active military, actually, the income has to be below 73,000. So it's a little bit different criteria. And file a free state return, and then it's listing all these states. It doesn't look like it's all the states, so it's a little bit different when you go here, because on the IRS website it says free state return for some states if you qualify for the federal. So you see another confusion here. So you have to read it in detail. So it's saying some states, but it doesn't list them like some of these other ones. They list the states. So something to watch out for. Okay, so the state return costs $39.95 if you don't qualify. So it's $40. It's pricey. Okay, you're able to check the status of your e-file and track your refund after you file. Okay, and then let's just compare what's the free version on the taxact.com, which is the main website. So it says there is free file. Now let's click there's details. Okay, so this provides already like more information what's included, and you see like it lists the income with a not a check mark but a dot, and in more bold font with what's included, but with an X, it's marking items that would not qualify. So for example, if you have stock, sale, and losses and gains, that would not qualify for the free version. Other investments, rental property, and what about deduction credits? So you can have dependent, you can be a current student, but you can't itemize, you can't have child independent care expenses, HSA is not included. So, I mean, what I like that right away, it's kind of obvious, like it's telling you what it is. Like you don't have to search for it and hunt for that information. Now it's saying free, state is additional, state is $40, which is the same as if we go with the link from the IRS website. So, okay, and then if you upgrade it, it seems like the next option is $46.95. And the states, then it's even more expensive, $54.95. Why? Right? Why? Well, I guess because you have more complicated situations, so more complex items flow through. Maybe that's why. Okay, so let's go and create our account. So let's click. I have never used this, by the way, so this is my first day kind of doing it with you guys. Starting my return. So let me create the account first. Okay, so I just created and verified my account, and I'm clicking Get Started. And we're going to use the same thing what I've used for all other tax software. We're going to have a simple situation, which, let me see. Okay, I have a W-2. This is a dummy W-2 for Jane, and just $30,000 of income. We have $22,000 given to a 401k, and there's like about $3,980 that's paid for health insurance, and I have a retirement plan. And then for the state, I have paid $1,500 in income tax. So that's what we're going to use it. Okay, now I like already how this looks. It's very clean, big font, and right away on the left, everything is open by default and shows me where I'm at. So I can see I have basic info, federal, state, review, filing next year, my return, and there are more options here, tools. So this, I like the look of it. Maybe I would like it if it was the font was a little bit more bold and a little bit bigger, maybe like white like this versus this grayed out. On the right, I have Help Center with some questions, so that's helpful. Oh, this is screen sharing, so I guess if you call in for help, many times they provide you with like security key that you can share, so they could access your software to see what you're seeing. And let's see, this is account info, my account info. Okay, let's import your information to speed up the process. Okay, so this is helpful. So if you have a prior year return that you can just import right away as a PDF from another tax software, what happens is basically you don't have to start from scratch, but you will have like your address, your name, and maybe employer name if nothing changed. So that's a good starting point. Okay, I clicked on the help little icon there, and it just kind of explains what it is. So I like again that there's help available right there by the question that it's asking you. So I'm going to say no because this is the first time filing, and this is an example that we're going through. Tell us about yourself. We'll ask you some questions to fill out the basic on your return. Continue. What best describes your relationship status? Okay, so this is your filing status right there. So it's at the very beginning. It didn't even ask us to fill out personal info. I guess maybe it's going to be coming up now. So, okay, you can select. Let's say I'm not sure. So let's see, here it says married. Okay, I can see right away interesting things here. I don't see head of household status because it can qualify even if you're married but you have not lived with your spouse for the past 6 months of the year, and you have a dependent that you can claim, you can still claim that status. So I guess the software, I assume, will help you decide on that. So I find that interesting, that it has that. Am I considered married? You're legally married. If you divorce or legally separated. Okay, so let's see. I just want to check what happens if I click that. Will you file this return with your spouse? Okay, so now we're kind of getting to this. How would you file for head of household? Why does it matter? if you were married or lived apart or were in the process of getting divorced, you were considered married. Will you file this return with your spouse? Let's say no. What happened? Let's see. Okay, it didn't tell us anything, it just told us to provide information. Okay, let's go back then. What about if we click legally separated? Okay, so legally separate. So, interesting. I haven't seen that in other software, so maybe there'll be more information. Oh, let's see here. Can I claim head of household? How would that go? If someone knows for sure that they're head of household, how would they select the status? If you click that, I like that it's, comes out as like a pop-up in new window. It doesn't take me to a new tab, so I don't lose my place in the background. But it's telling you what you may be able to file it even married or considered married. See marital status. You paid more than half of the cost of keeping up a home for the year, and you have a qualified person lived with you. And just didn't say what you have to do to select that. So, okay, for us, we're just picking single. Okay, let me fill this out. So I just filled this out, and more interesting things, like right away, it told me that my Social Security is invalid, which, obviously we have a dummy Social Security for our purposes, and you can click on these question marks to find out what you have to provide. If you do have ITIN number, you can provide it also instead of the Social Security. Last name. How do I enter a suffix as part of my name? So it does provide you. So this is really helpful because sometimes that's where, e-filing gets rejected because of issues how the name is spelled on a Social Security card versus how people put it in, how they use it in normal life, in the regular life. And so that's important to just mention to people. Now here, we have 2 check marks. So if you're legally blind, permanently disabled, passed away. So that's important because let's say you can qualify for additional standard deduction if you are legally blind, and if you're not sure how to define it, this question mark actually answers that. So it does provide that information. It says you can't see better than 2200 in your better eye with glass or contact lenses, and some other options. So that's really helpful because right away you can find out what it means. So we will just continue. Tell us about your family. Did you financially support anyone? I'm going to say no. Pro tip, your parents may qualify as dependents. So this is actually really helpful because there are situations that, like let's say if you are providing support to your parents who are not living with you, but you are providing support to them, this is an exception to a rule of claiming a dependent. So this is really helpful. Okay, so I just entered my address, and it's important to note that this is the address, current address that you have and where IRS may contact you. And if you have a foreign address, there's a check mark below. And you click continue. Okay, and this is nice summary. If you want to enlarge this, you can just click X at the right to kind of enlarge and have more of the information showing on your screen. I love how this shows up your name, if you have dependents or not, address, marital status. If you want to add it, you can just click there. And let's see what happens if I want to claim head of household. Oh, I see. So here you would have to specify you were married, but not filing together. And based on this, you would provide this information. You would say whether or not you live apart or together, and this will help you define and figure out if you can claim head of household. So, okay, so that's helpful. Okay, now let's go back. Now let's go back to that screen. We are right there. Social, our number. Perfect. This looks beautiful. Here's our filing recommendation. Do you want to change your filing status to head of household? Oh, so head of household information is coming up here. What happens here? Okay, so this is saying if you do want to do that, you must pay more than 50% of household expenses for a dependent. So this is really helpful for taxpayers because it has these little protections, basically asking questions to make sure you qualify so your return doesn't get rejected. So it's really great. Click continue. And okay, Jane, we have a few questions for you to get a better picture of your financial situation. Now, so this is basically going to ask us what kind of income we have. And I like it how it's, maybe it could be a little bit larger, the font, but I guess we can enlarge on our computer and you can check what I have. Okay, so let me see. I just checked W2 and there are question marks right there. They can provide more information. What is it saying? None of the above is an option. There's a bookmark on the right top. If I click that, this question, what did it say? Let's try one more time. Bookmark this question to review later. Okay, so this is great. So basically if you click this, basically if you're not sure what you have or if you have some forms, you can click that and the software will remember and you'll be able to get back to it before you file so you don't forget. We just have W2. Tell us any additional income. So just remind you if there are any state refunds, less common income. Let's say if we click this arrow. Okay, so now it's showing us, and I like how they have this block of different color now, kind of like, so it doesn't look like the same thing from the above. So it's like a good contrast to other things. Let's say here, you see, you can just do that for all of them. So I like that, and you're able to check other options and then click continue. Did you participate in any of these investments or savings? So this is about brokerage statement. Maybe you sold some stocks. So it's the same thing, cryptocurrency. Now let's see the question here. So we hope you saw gains this year, but even if you had losses, you may be able to use this to advantage. Okay. Other investment, continue. Did you pay any of these expenses? Okay, so this is kind of like asking you questions to figure out if you will qualify for any deductions or credit. So let's say we have actually $100 charitable donation to a church. So that's something I'm going to select. Thanks for your answers. Continue. Okay. Okay, right now on the left, I see where I'm at. I'm at the left part and it's asking me now, we're going to fill out my W2. So let me put that in. Now I just want to show you guys that, the software is smart enough to recognize when something is not correct right away, like EIN number, employee identification number should be 9-digit and I'm missing one. So it tells me right there that it's not correct. So I'm just going to fix that. Now I just want to show you that, when I enter the information, it doesn't do any calculations for me, like for the Social Security tax withheld or Medicare tax withheld, which is based on percentage. But, you just can do it manually, and I wasn't able to import my W2. Now I do like that for box 12, it does provide these little summaries of what each code means, so that's helpful. And let's just continue. Do you need to add another W2? I said no, that's all I have. Okay, so now this is a summary of my W2. I can edit it or put it to trash if I made a mistake, and I can add another one. Continue. At the top right there, right now, it is telling me how much I have in a refund, and in the federal and state refund. Let's look at our deductions, continue. So based on the questions I answered at the beginning, it tells me what we will go through. And right now on the left, I know I'm in the deduction section. And I guess we can move around to the other options if we like. I say no. Okay, I'm going to put $100. And this is saying basically that you do want to make sure you can support your charitable donations. Election to treat cash contribution as qualified contribution. You can elect to treat certain cash contribution qualified. Okay, I'm not sure why it's asking me, like, cash that may qualify. So I'm kind of confused about this question twice. Any non-cash contributions, we say no, but they would only qualify if you itemize, not if you're using standard deduction. This year you can deduct up to $300 in cash contributions per taxpayer, even if you use standard deduction for 2021. Okay, so this is talking about, if you itemize really, but in our case, this doesn't apply. So this is a summary. There was a lot of questions for this one charitable contribution, especially that I said that I'm not itemizing. A little bit too much. Especially that it's limited, it's up to $300 per taxpayer, so I'm not sure why it was asking so many questions, but you can still use a bookmark to come back to it if you like. Do you have any other itemized deductions to report? No. Thanks for itemizing. Your itemized deduction were less than the standard, so it was just doing it by itself, I guess. So we have applied a $12,550 standard deduction, so this is better for me at this point. Good news, you qualify for the charitable giving tax deduction of $100. All right. Now we will start on credits. So you see my federal refund already increased right there because of the additional $100 of deduction. So now we're going credits and it's moving to credits right there. Let's say if I click on deduction, what will happen? Okay, now if you click on the specific item right here, you see the summary. So I like always going there to see what I've entered. So you see, this is what I've entered. And if I want to add anything else, I can just click on the review option right there and make a change. Okay, so that's good. Let's go back to the credits. So credits, you see right now, I haven't entered anything except my W-2 and the $100 of charitable deduction. But right now I have retirement saving contribution credit, which is great because that's taking it from my W-2 for the 401k contribution. That's good. And the federal income tax withheld, that's what it was on my W-2 as well. Additional credit. Let's see if there's earned income tax credit right there. Let's see if the software should do the calculation for earned income tax credit qualification right away based on your information. But you can go to that credit in the software, you can find it and try to answer the questions. Like this one, it says, okay, so these are things that might disqualify you. Like let's say if in the past you were banned from using the credit or so on. And again, if you want to come back to it, you can just save it with this bookmark. Okay, so we can continue because we've done with that. Qualified retirement saving. Would you like to review the retirement saving contribution credit? Okay, let's review. Is this going to be the same thing? It is the same thing. Okay, let's just skip it then. Did you purchase healthcare insurance through Marketplace? So if you did, you will receive Form 1095A and you should put that in the software because the software will reconcile the amount of subsidies you have received and based on what you estimate your income for the year is. And if you don't, your return will be rejected or you may receive a letter that asks you to fix that. So you do want to wait to make sure you have the form if you do have Marketplace insurance. We'll say no because we have it through our job. Let's start with taxes. Okay, I thought we were doing with taxes. Oh, this is the taxes that we paid. Okay, this is asking, some of these questions will refer to some of the changes in the tax law for 2021. And this is like the advanced child tax credit payments. If you received it, you have to make sure you say you did, because it will delay your refund if you have received it but you say you didn't, because they will have to check, and in their system will be saying yes you did, but you're saying you didn't, so it will delay the processing. So make sure you answer this correctly. And here is some additional. Okay, so this is linking you to IRS online account where you would find if you've received them. I will say no. Okay, some other things. Re-enter my social security number. Oh, okay, so this is asking me, see, this is good, because it's like a warning system saying that the social security number that I have is not correct, and it may delay my return and refund. Well, I know why, because it's not correct, but it's a dummy one. Do you want to enter your bank account information? So this will allow you to set up direct deposits. Direct deposit is always the fastest and safest way to get your refund, but if you prefer to get a check, you can opt to do that. No, we do not want to enter it. Did you make this question about the virtual currency? It's something that's on a 1040, so it will ask you to make sure you comply with the tax law. We didn't have anything. Now, did you receive an identity protection PIN? So this is a 6-digit PIN that changes every year, and it's assigned to a taxpayer. So basically, if your identity was compromised, or you actually requested it yourself, you would receive it every year in a letter, and you have to include it with your tax return. Otherwise, your return will be rejected. If you don't remember it, you can go on a website, try to obtain it again. Okay, I don't want to do this. Okay, so this is my summary, and this is where it shows me I'm in the summary section right now. Oh, congratulations, you're getting a refund. Yay, this is exactly what we should be receiving. View your federal. Okay, now let's click this. View your federal refund. Hold on, what did it say? View your federal return, not refund. Okay, let's see, what will this provide me with? Preview. View only, non-printable version. Okay, that's good. That's fine. Awesome. This is perfect. This is what I wanted to see. I love being able to see the actual PDF of the 1040, and it shows me exactly what I've entered. So if you're familiar with your form, this is really great and so helpful. So it actually doesn't just have the 1040, it has all the schedules. And I assume it would have also state, because we're just federal right now. So it summarizes what we have entered for your income, deductions, credits, and does the calculation. It's really simple. It's easy to follow. You can follow it pretty easily. I wish maybe it was a little bit bigger font, but that's the only thing I would say. Continue. State tax. So now here, this is where you would answer questions, and your federal data has successfully transferred. So what happens usually in most software, you should put your federal information first, even if you're just going to file at a state, because all the data from federal flows to state. So without the federal data, you won't be able to file a state. So this is saying it transfers successfully. And what is asking me? Do you want to complete your Illinois return? And I will just say no. We were going to skip this. Oh, and I could actually delete it because it actually created one for me already. Would you like to add another state? No. Okay, let's review your return. Oh, I'm getting some warnings, but so far I haven't been sold any products, which is great. We'll double check hundreds of details so you can file with confidence. Alerts, incomplete or inconsistent information. Warnings, issues found. Deduction maximize, ways you may save money. Okay, so this is just telling us what kind of marking you will see to tell you what's going on. So this is checking my federal return, alerts. Okay, it's saying there's 2 alerts, okay, and 1 warning. So I'm going to click Fix Issues. Social Security again, I'm just going to leave it there but that's good that the tax software is telling me. Missing residency status for my Illinois. You see, so I opted out not to do it, but I didn't delete the Illinois tax return, so it's asking me. But this is great because you can specify whether you are part year resident or full year. Let's say what happens if I click part. I will get to the next screen. That's okay. I'll just go this way. Okay, if there are any distributions, we say no distributions made from retirement plan. Okay, so now it's trying to maximize your deductions, asking some basically based on your information what it can suggest, so that's good. Let's see if you can save on your taxes by contributing to an IRA. Okay, so this is a great option. It's telling you that by April 18, 2022, you can contribute to an IRA up to $6,000 for Jane. If over 55, you can have additional catch-up amount. Like you see, if you click the the information icon, then you can contribute additional $1,000 if you are over 50. So click continue. So that's a good suggestion, something that many people might forget to do to help them, save more on their taxes. Good news, your review is complete. Okay, so now I'm having a question about whether I want to help organize my financial aid application. So this is like a service. I wonder if this is paid or free. Let's click yes and see what happens. Check the appropriate bags. Okay, so this is you can be as a parent or a student. So actually that might be helpful because your tax information flows into FAFSA. So that's something, that could be helpful to know about this option. I'm just going to just go back and click continue. Would you like to compare this return to your last? Well, I don't have one. What happens if I say yes? Oh, okay. So you can compare it. That's interesting. By just entering your prior information directly on the form or step-by-step guidance. What's quick entry? Oh, so here, this is interesting. I can put in some information. Well, let's say I made 25,000. Oops. 25. And let's say, but it's not smart enough to even know what's the standard deduction. Because it thinks you might have itemized deduction. Well, let's put I think it was for 50, or something like that. Let's say I paid this much in taxes. So you kind of have to have your tax return with you to do that, because you won't, obviously, I don't know, let me just put this 1,000. So it is going to do the calculation for me. How? I don't see it. I don't know what these two options here there are. Okay, let me just federal income tax withheld, let's say 2,000. So the only thing is I'm not sure why it's not showing me how much tax I should pay. Something is off here. So, it's interesting, it's great, but I can't figure out how you're supposed to put the income tax. It's an interesting attempt in doing this comparison. Click continue. Now I can mail paper return, which you don't want to unless you have some reasons to, but e-file is the fastest, especially now with the IRS being so backlogged in processing and getting your refund. It's the fastest and most secure way. So I'm going to say e-file. You haven't completed the Illinois questions. Okay, now let's say I want to go back to my state. Oh, okay, so this is my review product. Okay, so it did have the federal return free, but Illinois is trying to charge me $39.95. Okay, now let's go back to the IRS Free File. What did it say? For some states, it will qualify, but not all. Now, let me go one more time, and let's see if it says which states. Okay, is Illinois. Okay, so Illinois did not qualify for the free option, so that's why I'm being charged. But the other state, if you were in other state, well, let's change it to maybe Arizona or Georgia. Let's change my basic info and say let's choose Georgia. Okay, let's see what will happen to my state filing. Okay, I'm just going to go to filing. Let me see. E-file, the return. Oh, now yes, exactly what I wanted to see. Federal return, it's free. Georgia return, it's free. We were offered this other option to with the FAFSA, for students or parents. So that was helpful, but there was thus far nothing was sold to us, which is great too. And I like how the summary looks, and it's easy to find yourself. E-file center, I guess at the top, at the left side. This is probably where you can find the status of your e-file, but obviously we did not file. I don't know why it's taking that long. Oh, okay, yeah, you can check e-file status, file return electronically, print instructions. So this is helpful. Like I have to say that I am really happy with this software. It was pretty easy. Had a lot of protections, user friendly. There's a lot of help menu. I wasn't sold any products. The font is large enough. It's pretty nice interface. So I would recommend it for free file. So thanks for watching, everyone.